Hello everyone, this is Venkatesh Panyam, your physics dude. Welcome back to the world of physics. Let's see an important problems in transfer of heat, which is a very important chapter both for mains, advanced, even for NEET exam. So in this video, I'm going to explain some of the important problems that most of the time we come across in exams, which are based on thermal conductivity. So let's do some problems on that. Yeah, before I start my video, please subscribe my channel so that you can get all the updates what I'm doing, and do not forget to click the bell icon and leave your comments if you really like my content. Let's see one by one. Let's see the first problem. The temperature of the two outer surfaces of a composite slab consisting of materials of K and 2K. Thickness is given. Thickness is nothing but the length here, x and 4x. The diagram is very clear. And the rate of heat transfer to the slab in steady state is this, where F is. So let's take this as some temperature T. So since the rods are in series, the heat current of both of them are equal. We all know that heat current is nothing but Ka dt upon L. So let me find the heat current of the first rod, Ka into dt nothing but T2 minus T upon the length is given as x. Similarly, the heat current of the second rod is 2Ka into and T minus T1 whole upon the length is 4x. So hence since heat is flowing from left to right, so we can clearly say that T2 greater than T1. Now let us equate H1 is equal to H2. So when I equate this, Ka into T2 minus T whole upon x is equal to 2Ka into T minus T1 whole upon 4x. So this x will cancel, and this Ka will cancel. So this will go by 2 times. So 2 times T2 minus T is equal to T minus T1. So this I can write 2T2 minus 2T is equal to T minus T1. Simply T is equal to 2T2 plus T1 upon 3. Now we got the junction temperature, and let's find out the rate of transfer of heat, nothing but again heat transfer. I'll take this one and put in the first equation. So this is nothing but Ka upon x into T2 minus, this is nothing but 2T2 plus T1 whole upon 3. So what I've done is I took this T2 value and kept in the first equation. So let's simplify that. H is equal to Ka upon x. If I take LCM, 3T2 minus 2T2 minus T1 whole upon 3. So this is nothing but Ka into T2 minus T1 whole upon x into 1 by 3. So therefore F is equal to 1 by 3. Because the total value, this Ka dt, Ka T2 minus T1 by x times F. So the answer F is 1 by 3. It's a very good problem, simple problem. Let's move on to the problem number 2. Here the question is the amount of heat conducted out per second per window when inside temperature is 10 degrees centigrade and outside temperature minus 10. So here you need to take only the cross section of the window. So if I take this is the window, here initially outside temperature is When it is minus 10 degrees centigrade, inside temperature is 10, the energy transferred through the window is given as 1000 joules. Now the question is, when the outside temperature is minus 20 degrees centigrade, what is the inside temperature? When this is T3, then what is this? We need to find out. That's a question given. So simply we can equate the heat conductivity. The Q is same. So I can just write down as Ka into, for the first one, the temperature difference is 10 minus of minus 10 plus 10 whole upon L. The rate of, we can take the same time, during the same time. For the second case, Kat into T2 plus 23 whole upon L, because outside temperature is 23. So simply this Kat by L cancel. So 20 is equal to T2 plus 23. So T2 is equal to 3 degrees centigrade. But if you look at the options, answer given Kelvin. So minus 3 degrees centigrade, nothing but minus 3 plus 273. So the answer is 270 Kelvin. Option number C is the answer. So very simple problem based on thermal conductivity. Now let's move on to problem number 3. Heat conducted across a composite slab, block of slab thickness D and 2D. Their thermal conductivity are 2K and K. All the heat generated in the phase A leaves from phase B, CD. The temperature at the junction. So that formula based. So we need to find out junction temperature. So simply equate the heat current of the first rod is equal to heat current of the second rod. What is the heat current of the first rod? 2Ka into temperature difference is 100 minus T, but the thickness of the first rod is given as D and this is given as 2D. So D is equal to, for the second rod, Ka into T minus 0, because the second is 0, whole upon 2D. So I just equate the heat currents. So Ka by D is cancelled. So now you just cross multiply 4 times 100 minus T is equal to T. So 400 is equal to 5T. So T is equal to 400 by 5, nothing but 80 degrees centigrade. So the answer is option number D. So again, it is based on the transfer of heat currents only. Now look at the question number 4th question. Two sheets of thickness D, 2D. So here the thickness of this is given as D and this is given as 2D. The temperatures Ta, Tb, Tc shown are in the geometrical progression with the common ratio 2. So that means the temperature of A is to B is to temperature C should be, since there is geometric progression, so it should be 2 is to 4 is to 8. If you take the ratio, you'll get 2 only. Now, the ratio of thermal conductivity of thinner and thicker rod. Again, let us equate the heat current of this part is equal to heat current of this part. So H1 is equal to H2. So this I can take 2 and 4, 8. Okay. I can take this as some 2T, some 4T, and this as some 8T temperature. So for the first rod, thermal conductivity, that's what we need to find out. So K1 and area will be same, A into TB minus TA. TB is 4T minus TA is 2T whole upon the thickness is D. For the second rod, K2A into TC minus TB. So 8T minus 4T whole upon 2D. So here, if you just simplify this one, clearly we can understand that A by D cancel. So therefore, K1 into 2T is equal to K2 into 4T upon 2. Again, this 2T will cancel. So simply K1 is to K2 is 1 is to 1. So the ratio is the answer, option number 1. Let's move on to problem number 5. So this is also a similar model to that. Two rods A and B of different materials but same cross-section area joined as shown in the figure. The free ends of A are maintained at 100 and B is maintained at 0. Lengths are given, thermal conductivity is given, then the temperature. So here the temperature, let's take T. The temperature T of the junction of the rods is again the same, just equate heat current of the first rod is equal to heat current of the second rod. So for the first rod, let us write K1A into 100 minus T upon L1 is equal to K2A into T minus 0 upon L2. But some relations are given. So in the place of K1, right, let us write, anyway, A will cancel. So K1 is 2K2. So 2K2 into 100 minus T, by just write L1 as L1 only, that is equal to, let's take this as K2 into T upon, but L2 is given as 2L1. So let's write this 2L1. So clearly L1, L1 cancel, K2, K2 cancel. If you cross multiply again, 400 minus 40 is equal to T, 5T is equal to 400. So T should be equal to 80 degrees centigrade, the option number C. So all these problems up to this 5, I just equated the heat currents and I'm just solving. So heat current, the simple concept for all these problems. Let's move on to problem number 6. This is again a good problem. Two spheres of different materials, one with double the radius and 1/4 wall thickness. So better always in physics draw the diagrams. We always get answers correctly. So there are two spheres. The radius of the, let us take R1. The radius of this is R2. Made up of K1. This made up of K2. So what is the given data? Two spheres of material, one with double the radius. Let us take R2 is equal to 2R1. And 1/4 of the wall thickness. If I take the thickness of this as wall T, then this will be T is equal to, or T2 is equal to T upon 4, because 1/4. The time taken for complete, and this is filled with ice and this is also filled with ice. If the time taken for the complete melting of ice, the large radius is 25. So here the time, this is thickness, and let's take the time T is equal to 25 minutes, and here the time is given as 16 minutes. The ratio of thermal conductance of the materials of the larger sphere to the smaller sphere is. So we all know that Q is equal to Ka T into dt upon El. Here T is simply a time. So this is nothing but ml is equal to Ka T dt upon El. So clearly we understand that ml is constant because the same amount of ice is melted. So only the difference is area, thermal conductivity, and temperature difference also. Melting of ice is dt should be 0, and the length is nothing but the thickness. So from this I can say that this Ka P upon L is equal to constant. So I can write K1 upon K2 is equal to A2 upon A1 into T2 upon T1 into L1 upon L2. So let's write down the values of these things. So K1 is equal to, or I can say K1 A1 T1 by L1 equal to K2 A2 by T2. So I want to find out this. What is area of the second sphere? 4 pi R2 square by 4 pi R1 square into T2 is given as time. T2 nothing but the time here. So 25 minutes. and T1 is given as 16 minutes. Here L is nothing but the thickness. L1 is T and this is given as T by 4. So anyway, this 4 by cancel. R2 is called 4R1. So here you get to 4 and then 25 by 60 into 4. So clearly this 4 and this 4, 16 will cancel. So I got 25:1. But the question, let us read the question. We got K1 by K2. But what is asking? The ratio of thermal conductivity of material of the larger sphere to smaller. So we want to find out K2 by K1. So K2 by K1 will be 1 by 25. Because we got K1 by K2 as 25:1. So the reverse will be 25, 1 by 25. So the option number D is the answer. So again, this is simple diet formula based. Now let's move on to problem number 7. A hollow sphere of inner radius R and outer radius 2R. So let us draw a diagram again. So there is a sphere and it's a hollow sphere. Given that the radius of this is given as R and the radius of the autosphere is given as 2R. And it is filled with a material of thermal conductivity, let's take K. Now it is surrounded by another hollow sphere. Let's draw one more hollow sphere around it, and it is given that the radius of this is 3R. Inner radius anyway R only, and this is also filled with the same material of thermal conductivity K only. Right, that's same. Both are filled with same material. The inside of the smaller sphere maintained at 0. So this is maintained at 0. And the outside of the bigger sphere maintained at 100. So heat will flow in this direction. This is the rate of flow of heat. Because the system is in steady state, the temperature, the interface of this. So interface means this. This is the interface of these two. Let's take that temperature. So it is a radial flow of heat. So for radial flow of heat, thermal conductivity K is equal to H upon 4 pi into T1 minus T2 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So let us apply this formula and we'll easily get the answer. So since it's flowing from out to inside, so for the first one, H upon 4 pi into 100 minus T, because this is 100, this is T. I took this as T, into the outer radius is 3R, inner radius is 2R. So the answer here is 1 by 2R minus 1 by 3R. This, let's take equation 1. Now I apply the same for the second to third. So thermal is the same. So H upon 4 pi into here T minus 0. So T minus 0 into outer radius 2R, inner radius R. So 1 by R minus 1 by 2R. Let's take it as equation 2. It is given that both are having same thermal conductivity. So simply I can say 1 is equal to 2. So when I write 1 is equal to 2, this H by 4 pi will cancel. So I left with 1 by 100 minus T into, if I take this LCM, so I'll get 1 by 6R is equal to, and if I simplify this 1 by T upon, if I take LCM, 1 by 2R. So clearly this R cancel and 2 1s are 2 3s will get cancelled. Now you cross multiply that. So T is equal to 300 minus 3T. 4T is equal to 300. So T should be equal to 75 degrees centigrade. Let's check the options. Yes, the option number C is correct because the answer is given as 75. Now let's move on to the next problem. So here It's a composite rod again. So a composite rod made of three rods of thermal conductivities, length and cross section shown in the figure, same, K by 2, 5K and K respectively. The end AB at same temperature. All the energy enters is nothing but simply series combination of three thermal conductors. So one, we know that for three thermal conductors, K effective is equal to 3 K1, K2, K3 upon K1, K2 plus K2, K3 plus K3, K1. So it's a simple formula based. So 3 into K1 is K by 2 into 5K into K whole upon K1, K2 is K by 2, 5K. So 5 by 2 K square plus K2, K3, 5K square and K3, K1 is K square by 2. This K square by 2. So now let's take the LCM here. This is actually 350 K cube upon 2. And if I take LCM, 2 tens, 2 5s are 10, 50, 16. And this will become 16K square by 2 only. So 2 cancel, 1 K cube, K square will cancel. So overall, if you look at, you left with 15 by 16K. So let us check the answers. Yeah, third option is the right answer. 5K by, I'm sorry, first option number A, 15K by 6. It's a simple diet formula based. Let's move on to problem number 9. Three conducting rods of same material and cross section are shown in the figure. The ADC are maintained at 20. So A maintained at 20 degrees centigrade and ADC. So this is maintained at 90 and this is maintained at 0. Right. The ratio of lengths of BD and BC if there is no flow in AB. So when there won't be any flow between AB, only when this is also maintained at 20 degrees centigrade. So heat will flow like this. This is how heat will flow. So simply, if we equate the temperature gradient, I'll get the answer. So let us write. So 90 minus 20 upon BD is equal to 20 minus 0 upon BC. So this is nothing but 70 by BD is equal to 20 by BC. So therefore, BD upon BC is equal to 7:2, 7 by 2. So the answer is option number B. Let's move on to problem number 10. Here, three identical cross section of the rods are given and made of same area, right angle triangle. So if I take this as L, this as L, this will be root 2L because the right angle triangle. So rectangle. So the temperature of A and B is, so this is T, this is 2T, and let's take this as T. So it's very clear that the heat is flowing in this direction. So again, let us equate the temperature gradients or heat current simply, or you can say temperature gradients. So 2T minus Tc upon L should be equal to Tc minus T upon root 2L. Change in temperature by length. There clearly the temperature between those two is 2T minus Tc. The length is L. Between C and A, the length is root 2L. Now let's simplify that. Here clearly L cancel. If I simplify that, 2 root 2T minus root 2C, sorry, root 2 Tc is equal to Tc minus T. So if I take T common, 2 root 2 plus 1, and if I take Tc common, 1 plus root 2. So we want to find out Tc. So Tc is equal to 2 root 2 plus 1 by root 2 plus 1 whole multiplied with the T. So this is option number B. It's a simple problem based on transfer of heat. So simply we equated the temperature gradient. Let's see problem number 11. In this problem, two rods of equal length and area of cross section are parallel and logged between temperature 28. The ratio of effective thermal conductivity to that of the first rod is. So let's take K1 as some 3K, K2 as some 4K because the ratio is given. So in parallel combination for the same area of cross section, K1 plus K2 by 2. So simply 7K by 2. But the question is the ratio of thermal conductivity, effective thermal conductivity to that of first rod. So it's asking Kp upon K1. So Kp is 7K by 2 by K1 is 3K. So the answer should be 7 upon 6 or simply 7:6. The answer number B is the answer. So let's move on to problem number 12. Here in this problem, all the rods are identical. When they say all the rods are identical, I can take they have equal thermal resistance. So simply here, when we have 5 rods, we need to apply the Wheatstone-Bridge condition, P by Q to R by S. So this resistor at the center will not work because the condition P by Q is equal to R by S is that's why it is a Wheatstone-Bridge. Now I can draw the diagram like this. Between C and A there are 2 rods. So the net resistance will be 2R. And I'm redrawing the diagram. And this is B and this is D. This is R, this is R, this is R, R and R. Now we know that when thermal conductors are in series, the effect resistance will be added. So 2R and 2R. And when they're connected in parallel, so we have to get this entire value also become R. So this is C, this is A, this is. Now again I draw the diagram. So C, this is the answer 2R. And between A and B, there is R. R is the effect resistance of all the 4. And between D and B again, there is R. So we have 3 resistors here. This is 2R. Between AB it is R. And again this is R. So some data is given here. What is given? The temperatures are mentioned here. C maintained at 10 degrees centigrade. And temperature D is maintained at 170. Now, what at steady state the temperature of A, we don't know. Let us take as T. If I take this entire as a single, between C and D, what is the total resistance 4R? So I'll draw one more diagram. Here, this is C and this is the net resistance is 4R. We all know that when the rods are connected like this, the thermal resistance is nothing but dt upon H or the heat current is equal to dt upon R. Since all of them are in series, the same heat current will flow. So I can find out the heat current across AC or CA. So heat current across CA should be equal to the difference in temperature is because this is 70, so T minus 10. T minus 10 whole upon 2R. Next, I'll apply this for this one again. The heat current across CD is equal to, since this is at 170, this is at 10. So 170, this will be the direction of, heat current will flow like this. Why? Because this is at higher temperature. This is the direction of heat current. So 170 minus 10 upon 4R. Now, since they are connected in series, we can equate the heat current is equal to HCD. So what is this one? T minus 10 upon 2R is equal to 160 upon 4R. This R cancel. So 2 ones, 2 2. So this will go by 80. So T minus 10 is equal to 80. So T is equal to 90 degrees centigrade. That means the temperature at A is 90 degrees centigrade. Let's see this. It's a very, very important model. Yes, the answer is option number D. So here we need to understand, remember there are two rods in between C and A. So since all of the rods are identical, simply take resistors as the same. And here we have to apply the Wheatstone bridge condition. Why? Because there are 5 identical rods. So this resistance, but this is nothing but same. So this will not work. That's what I applied. Then I found effective thermal resistance between the points. Now let's move on to question number 13. If the depth of the lake is 10 meters and the temperature surrounding it is minus 10 degrees centigrade and the depth of water at the bottom is 5. Okay. So let us draw the diagram. So here ice is there, water is there. The total depth of this is given as 10 meters. And if I take the depth of this as x, obviously this will be 10 minus x. Here the temperature is given as minus 10 and surrounding term minus 10. And we know ice will be at 0. The water temperature is 5 degrees centigrade. Now the thermal conductivity of water is Kw and this is K ice. The depth of ice will be is asking. So we know that the heat will flow in the upward direction. So from here to here and here to here. So simply let us equate the total heat transferred. So for water, if you look at Kw is equal to, so Kw A into time, everything is same. Or we can equate the rate of flow of heat for both of them. They are since parallel. I can directly write Kw A into 5 minus 0 upon length is 10 minus x, which is nothing but ice to the surroundings K ice into A into the temperature is 0 minus of minus 10 plus 10 upon x. So I'm just equating the heat currents between the water ice and ice to surroundings. So simply A cancel here. So what you left with 5 kW by 10 minus x is equal to 10 Ki by x. So this will go by 2 times. Now you just cross multiply that. So this is Kwx is equal to 20 Ki minus 2x into Ki. If I take x common, Kw plus Ki is equal to 20 Ki. So x is equal to 20 Ki upon Kw plus, I think if I took x common, this is 2 Ki. There is 2 Ki. So 20 Ki upon Kw plus 2 Ki. So let's see the options. Yeah, 20 Ki by Kw plus is not 1, this is I actually. Okay, option number C is the answer. So here also I equated the heat current between water to ice and ice to the surroundings. And let's see problem number 14. This problem number 14, a very, very standard problem. A hollow cylinder has inner radius R1 and outer radius. This is not other radius, outer radius. So this is outer R2. The inner part of cylinder maintained at T1 and the outer part is maintained at T2. At steady state, at what distance from the center of the cylinder is T1 plus T2 by 2? So if you draw the diagram, this is the inner cylinder, this like center, and there is one more outer cylinder. It is given that the radius of this one is R1, the radius of this R1. R2. And here the temperature of this is maintains T1, T2. Now is asking somewhere at what distance, let's take R, the temperature is T, where T nothing but T1 plus T2 upon 2. So remember, inner cylinder maintained high temperature. So the heat current will flow from in this direction. This is the direction of heat flow. So we all know that for cylinder, thermal conductivity is given by H by 2 pi L into T1 minus T2 into ln of R2 by R1. So what you have to do, you simply equate the heat, the thermometer for the inner to this point. I'll find out for between these two, then between these two points. So for the first time, I said H is same, 2 pi into inner to this one. Here the temperature T1 to T. So T1 minus T ln of the radius of this is R, this is R1. So R upon R1. This is very important step because the radius of this is R. The radius of this is, there is one more cylinder here you need to measure. So for this cylinder, the temperature T, radius is the R. So let's take question 1. Similarly, find out for the these two, H upon 2 pi. Now here T minus T2 ln of outer radius is R2, inner radius is R. So equation 2. So again, we need to equate them. When I equate them, 1 is equal to 2. I can say that H by 2 pi will cancel. So 1 upon T1 minus T into ln of R by R1 is equal to 1 by T minus T2 ln of R2 by R. So here what is T given? T given as the average T1 plus T2 by 2. So let me check T1 by T1 plus T2 by 2 value. So clearly it is T1 minus T2 by 2. Similarly, T minus T2. So if I calculate T minus T2 also, I'll get it as T1 minus T2 by 2. So simply I can say this and this will cancel because the ratio is the same. So ultimately I left with ln of R by R1 is equal to ln of R2 by R. So ln also cancel. So ultimately I left with R by R1 is equal to R2 by R. So R square is equal to R1 R2. R is equal to square root of R1 R2. A very, very, very standard relation. So simply we find out that the thermal conductivity for the inner cylinder and outer cylinder, then inner central first and 2 and 2 and 3. So simply equate it. We got the answer as R is equal to root over R1 R2. Now let's see question number 15. This is also as simple as that, same model, but here we have taken spherical shells. So again, let's take inner sphere and there is outer sphere. So he again the same logic. For this one, the radius R1, the radius is R2, temperature T1, temperature T2. So he's asking at what distance the temperature is maintained as T. So let's take the temperature T and the radius of this as R. So here the only difference is thermal conductivity of cylindrical shells is H upon 4 pi. Here L anyway, I forgot to write the L value there, but anyway L cancels in the above problem. So 2 pi L, so L will be there, anyway L will cancel, no need to write. For this one, H upon 4 pi into T1 minus T2 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R. So same procedure again. The temperature T is given as T1 plus T2 by 2. So let us write for the first one H upon 4 pi. So this is T1 will be more than T. So T1 minus T into 1 by inner radius minus 1 by R for the seconds. So let's take question 1. Similarly, K is equal to H by 4 pi into 1 by, T minus T2. T will be more than T2. Inner radius now become 1 by R minus outer radius is R. So this is a crucial step. So same procedure as we have done in the previous case. So let's equate 1 is equal to 2. So just now I proved that the value of T1 minus T and T minus T2 are same. So I'm just cancelling this term and this term will cancel. Ultimately I left with 1 by R1 minus 1 by R will be equal to 1 by R minus 1 by R2. Because already we did it in the previous problem. So this I can write 2 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So therefore R is equal to 2 R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So if it is cylindrical flow, then we get root R1 R2. For spherical flow, it is 2 R1 R2 by R1 plus option number A is the answer. So these two models are very, very important problems, and these are standard identities also. Let's move on to problem number 16. What is this problem number 16 is all about? A circular rod has a uniform cross section and made of same metal. If ends AB are maintained at temperature T1, T2. So let's take initial temperature of this T1 and temperature T2. Maintained at T1 respectively. Total thermal conductivity from A to B is I1. So thermal conductivity nothing but heat current I1. And when AC are maintained at temperature T1, T2, thermal conductivity is right. Then he's asking, okay. So let's solve the problem. Here remember, it divided into 4 quadrants. If I take AB, if R is the total resistance of that, this becomes R by 4 and this becomes 3R by 4. Because if R is the total resistance of the rod, so quadrant is R by 4. And remember, these 2 points are maintained at temperature, say T1, T2. Then this part, this rod, and this rod will be parallel. So in parallel, what is the effective resistance? 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So that is equal 1 by R1 means effect resistance I want to find out. 1 by R1 means 1 by R by 4. So it becomes 4 by R plus 4 by 3R. R1 is the effect resistance between AB. Or otherwise you can write effective resistance between AB. So 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So clearly if you take LCM, the resistance between AB becomes 3R upon 16. Now next time that again let us draw the diagram. In the next case, it is maintained between AC. So if you draw the diagram again, so here now between AC, the temperatures are maintained. So clearly it is R by 2, it is R by 2, half of it. So 1 by R AC is equal to, again they are parallel. So 2 by R plus 2 by R. So resistance across AC is R upon 4. So now we got these two. But we all know that the heat current can be written as dt by R. Here in both the cases, dt is constant. So simply heat current is inverse to R. So H1 upon H2 is equal to R2 upon R1. Here H is given as I. So R2 means the second time what is the effect resistance? R by 4. So nothing but R by 4 into first term 3R by 16. So it will be 16 by 3R. So this will go by 4 times. R are cancelled. So overall the answer is 4 by 3. It's a very good problem. So first we find out the effect of thermal resistance, then take this concept. So the answer should be 4 upon 3. So here I took I1, I2 as H1, H2, both the same. Let's move on to problem number 17. Here, if a rod 1 connected between the two reservoirs of infinite temperatures, heat capacity steady state thermal current is 6 watt. So you take one single rod and maintain the temperature T1, T2. To this one, the heat current H1 is equal to 6 watt. Rod 2 connected between the same. Again, let us take the rod 2 also separately. And in this case, the heat current is given as 3 watt. Now, question is both of them are connected simultaneously between the same reservoirs. What is the heat current? This is the question is asking. Okay. So just now I said the heat current is equal to dt upon R. So R is equal to dt upon H. So what is R1? dt by H1. What is H1? 6. What is R2? dt by H2. That is 3. Since the rods are connected in series, so simply I can write Rs is equal to R1 plus R2. So here also I'll apply the same concept. dt upon that effective heat current H is equal to dt by 6 plus dt by 3. So anywhere dt cancel. So 1 by H equal take LCM 9 by 18. Simply H is equal to 2 watt. So if the two rods are connected in parallel, the effective thermal conductivity will be 2 watt. That's a very good problem. Now let's move on to question number 18. A cylinder rod, when one end in steam chamber and another end is ice, results in melting of 0.1 grams of ice per second. If the rod is replaced by another with half the length, double the radius, first, and if thermal conductivity of material of second rod is 1/4 that of the first rod, rate at which ice melts is, yes. We all know that Q is equal to KAT dt upon L. This is M by L is equal to KAT dt by L. So here M by T into L is equal to Ka dt upon L. So clearly here this M by T is constant. I mean the values are variable. Latent is a variable and dt is same. So simply I can write like this. M1 by M2 is equal to K1 by K2 into area, radius are given. So it becomes R1 upon R2 whole square into L2 upon L1 because dt is same. But what is M1 given? M1 is given as 0.1. So let us write 0.1. M2 we don't know. But there are some relations are given. Thermal conductivity of metal of second rod is 1/4 of the first. That means this is K1. This is K2 is K1 by 4. In radius are also given. There is another rod with half the length and double the radius. So R1 by 2R1, double the radius into half the length. L1 by 2 by L. So let us simplify that. So K1 can whole square will be there, sorry, cancel. L1 cancel. So if you write in the next step, that implies 0.1 by M2 is equal to, this will be 4 because 1 by 2 whole square 4 and this will go to the denominator as 1 by 2. So this 4 cancel. So M2 will be 0.2 gram per second. So let's check the answer. Yeah, C is the option number C is the correct answer. It is 0.2 gram per second. So here, this is also based on thermal conductivity only. Now let's move on to problem number 19. A slab of stone of area 0.34 meter square and thickness 10 centimeter exposed to on the lower surface stream at 100. A block of ice at 0 rests on the upper surface of the slab in 1 hour 3.6 grams of ice melted. So let's draw the diagram. This is the block here maintained at 100 and here some ice is placed. Obviously the temperature is 0 and area of cross section is given as 0.34 meter square and a mass of ice melted is given. So M is equal to 3.6 kg and the time is given as 1 hour, write down 3600 seconds. A latent heat of ice is given as 3.4 into 10 power 5 joule per kg. And what else is given? What we require, length is given as 10 centimeter, so 10 power minus 1 meter. So we all know that when ice melts, we write ml is equal to KAT dt by L. So what you're supposed to find, K value. M is given how much? 3.6. L is 3.4 into 10 power 5 is equal to K, we don't know. Area of cross section given as 3.4 and time is 3600. Temperature difference 100 0 whole upon 10 power minus 1. Now here we want to find out the value of K. So K is equal to 3.6 into 3.4 into if I cross multiply it become 10 power 4 whole upon 0.34 into 3600 into 100. So clearly we can cancel these 100, this 100 with this and everything will be cancelled. We'll get only 1. So the answer is 1 watt meter power minus 2 Kelvin power minus 1. So it's a simple direct formula based problem again. Now let's move on to question number . So answer is A. Let's move on to question number 20. A ring consisting of parts ADB and ACB of same conductivity K. So initially the conductor this and this are K. The ADB part now replaced with another metal keeping the temperature constant, the heat current increases to 2H. What should be the conductivity of the new ADB part? So this is actually 3:1. It is as simple as the previous one we have done. So if you look at the length of this total is, if I take this as L, this part become 3L because 3:1 part. So what is the length of this part and let us calculate. I take the resistance of this as R1, resistance as R2. So R is equal to L by K in general. The resistance is equal to L by Ka. So what is R1? Length is 3L Ka. And what is R2? L upon Ka. So again they are parallel. So 1 by R effective. So let us take it as R1 dash is equal to effect resistance between those 2 points or RAB. Initially I can take RAB. 1 by RAB is equal to, they're parallel, right? So Ka by 3L plus Ka by L. So if I take LCM, RAB will be 3L by 4 Ka. That's what we get in the beginning. Now the second part, what is saying here, now it is replaced with another material. Let us take it as some K dash. So again, we need to follow the same procedure here. For the second part, R1 won't change. 3L by K only because the metal is same. Now the second part will change. L by some K dash A. Now let us find out what is effective resistance between AB. Let us take R dash AB is equal to Ka by 3L plus K dash A by L. Now if you simplify that, this R dash AB becomes 3L upon Ka plus 3 times K dash A because they're not same. Again we know that R is equal to dt by H. So H is equal to dt by R. Again dt is maintained same here once again. So H inversely proportional to R. So H1 upon H2 is equal to R2 upon R1. If you read the problem, one condition is given. What is the condition? A heat current now is 2H. So if you take H1 as H, H2 we need to take it as 2H. So H upon 2H is equal to, what is R2 mean? This one. 3L by, if I take A common, K plus 3K dash into, what is R1? 3L by 4K. So 4K goes up by 3L. So let's simplify that. This 3L cancel. This A and A only cancel. H cancel. Now you cross multiply that. K plus 3K dash is equal to, this will go that side, 8K. So therefore 7K is equal to 3K dash. So K dash is equal to 7 by 3K. A very good problem. So here we need to understand that the resistances are connected in parallel. So you just convert in that, you'll get it very easy. Now let's move on to problem number 21. Two rectangular blocks A and B of different metals have same length and same area of cross section. They're kept in such a way that their cross section area touch each other. The temperature to one end of A is 100 and the B at the other end is 0. The ratio of thermal conductivity is of 1:3. Then a study said the temperature of the junction contact. So we did the same models. So again, the same question, they are in series. So let's take the dots, and this is A and this is B. Same length is given, length is same, and same area. So area is also same. Touch the temperature at the end A is 100. So here it is 100, and the other one is 0, and is asking temperature. But one condition given, conductivities are. So let's take this as K. This will be 3. So simply let us equate heat currents. So therefore K into A by L is so Ka and 100 minus T by L is equal to Ka T minus 0 by 3K. So Ka, sorry, this is, I'm sorry, 3K by L. This is 3K into A into T minus 0 by L. So K cancel, L cancel. So simply I can write 100 minus T is equal to 3T. So 4T is equal to 100. T is equal to 25 degrees centigrade. So the answer is 25 degrees centigrade. Let's go to problem number 22. These are all numerical integer questions. A wall has two layers, A and B, made of different materials. Let us take the two layers of the wall. They are made up of different conductivities. Metal A twice that of B. This is very important. The conductivity of A twice that of B. If I take this as K, this is 2K. Two layers of same thickness. So the length is same. Under thermal equation, the temperature difference across the walls. So if I take this as some T1, this as T2, and let's take this as sum T. So what is given here? One important point is given. The temperature difference across the wall is 48. So T1 minus T2 given as 48. Then the temperature difference across B is asking. Then what is T minus T2 question mark? So again, let's equate the heat currents. So when I equate the heat current, 2K into A by L anyway cancel, I'm not writing it. So T1 minus T is equal to K into T minus T2. Because K by L, A by L cancel on both sides. So K cancel. And we want to find out T minus T2. Okay. So therefore this I can write from this one. I can write T2 is equal to, or I can write T1. T1 is equal to 48 plus T2. Let's substitute. So this is 48 plus T2 minus T is equal to T minus T2. So this is nothing but again, if I take multiplication 96 plus 2 into T2 minus T is equal to T minus T2. Or 96 is equal to, if I take this side, become minus T2 minus T plus T minus T2. Or 96 become 3 times T minus T2. T minus T2. So ultimately, T minus T2 is equal to 96 by 3, nothing but 32 degrees centigrade. So this is the difference of temperature between the walls of B. Let's see problem number 23. 3 rods of same material and having same cross section have been joined as shown in the figure. Each rod of same length, left the rods are kept at 0, 90 respectively. The temperature junction of the 3 rods will be. Again, the same logic. Let's take heat current here. No, it is 0, right? So let's take this as H1, this as H2, and this will flow to this. So I can write H is equal to H1 plus H2. H in ultimate K dt by L. So given that the rods are same, it means K same. Having same cross section, area length is also same. So directly Ka by L cancel on either side. So I can write T minus 0 is equal to 90 minus T plus 90 minus T. So simply 3T is equal to 180. That implies T is equal to 60 degrees centigrade. So because the dimensions are same, material is same, Ka by L will cancel. Let's see the last problem 24. Again the important model. 6 identical rods are joined as shown in the figure. Point AD are maintained temperatures 220 respectively. So already we know that R, let's take. Same model we discussed already. So here, if you simplify this entire is also become R. So if I take A, B, C, and D, this is R. I said this effect resistance also will be R. And this is R. Here the temperature is given as 200. The temperature given as 100. Temperature junction B we want to find out. Let's take T. Again, I take one more thing. Between A, D, I'll calculate the effect resistance. R plus R become 3R. So this is 200. This is 20. So I said heat current is equal to dt by, we know H is equal to dt by R. So let's find out that. Here if I take between H, A, B is equal to 200 minus T by R. Between AD, I'll find out 200 minus 20 by 3R. So since heat currents are equal, HAB is equal to HAD. So 200 minus T by R is equal to 180 by 3R. R are cancelled 3 ones. 360s. So therefore T is equal to 200 minus 60, nothing but 140 degree centigrade. So remember, I covered all the different models of thermal conductivity. So this list is more than enough for all your COMT exams. So all these problems are very different models. So just keep on watching these video, and if you can list out all the problems and write down and do it again, and definitely that will help you a lot. Thanks for listening. Happy physics learning once again.